usually expect to hear mentioned in the same breath. But today, Parliament plays host to the launch of a new single which is being released to raise money for a permanent memorial to African and Caribbean soldiers who fought for the Allies in the World Wars. But the single could also propel one musician into the charts again after more than half a century, as Helen Drew reports.
These are the Southlanders. They were a successful Jamaican-British group in the 1950s.
Every picture here tells a story.
91-year-old Alan Wilmot was one of them.
It was quite an experience because in those days, you know, everybody was trying to make it. Everybody was on the make, and when some survived, some became millionaires, you know, and I didn't become a millionaire, but I'm happy I'm still around.
Alan grew up in Kingston, Jamaica, and before the Southlanders he served in the Royal Navy. 6 decades since his first hit, and he's now taking part in a charity single.
How does it feel to finally be free? Wonder will I ever know?
It's to raise money for a permanent memorial recognising African and Caribbean servicemen during World War I and II.
Of all the memorials in the UK, and there's over 100,000 memorials in the UK, there's not one dedicated to African and Caribbean soldiers. This is exactly 102 years after the outbreak of World War I. I think it's time they got a memorial, don't you?
Jack enlisted the help of this Brixton rapper, here for the singles launch at the House of Commons tonight.
Blood, sweat, tears, yeah, I paid the price. After all I sacrificed, they don't recognise.
Those who isn't factually remembered dies, and I don't want it to be the black people who I know have lived the life where they've contributed immeasurably. I believe that sacrifices that are made should be recognised.
One of Alan's singles sold over 1 million copies in the 1950s. He hopes this time round to capture a bit of that success. Helen Drew, BBC London News.
Amazing story there. Right, let's get a check on the